In this lesson, you will learn how to plan a basic travel journal web page, create a wireframe, and select the HTML element that represents the content. Let's get started. If you like to document your travel journey in a journal and you want to convert it into a web page to enable you to share it with the world, how do you think you go about building it? Let's take a look. On this screen, we have Tom's travel journal. If you want to convert this journal into a web page, the first step is to look at the journal structure or format. So let's consider this journal. You will notice that it starts with a date, the place visited. For each day, Tom creates an entry that includes the description of the day and then an accompanying image for that day. The next day, Tom follows the same structure: the date, the place visited, description of the day, and then an image of the place visited or how the day went. The second step is to visualize what you want to build. Now, to visualize what to build, you'll prepare a rough sketch of the web page design based on the information you've gathered or the narrative of the website concept. Now, this rough sketch is referred to as a website wireframe. On the screen, we have website wireframe. A wireframe is a simple sketch that uses basic shapes like lines and boxes to outline the functional parts of a web page. You can use cross boxes to represent an image and several power lines to represent a paragraph. Now, the wireframe will help you to focus on the content and layout of the website. So let's explore this wireframe. This is the home page or the landing page wireframe. Now, the first section here would represent a product image. And so what the user does is that he uses this box that has a cross diagonal lines within to represent an image. Then here we have a text, our product. Below our product, we want 3 images representing 3 products. And so we use these 3 boxes. The first box with the diagonal lines, the second box, and the third box. So this will indicate to the client that here we would have 3 images. Below the image, you would have your title of the image and then the description. Title of the image, description. The third title and then the description. Now, beneath our product is another image. How do we know this is an image? Because we see that we have a rectangle with 2 diagonal lines crossing each other. This can indicate to us that we have an image here. Then we have an image on the left side, a heading, which is newsletter, some paragraph, then this rectangle that will represent a button. So this will indicate to the client the layout or structure of the website or web page you want to build. Now let's take a look at the second screen. This screen represents the About page. With the About page, we have a heading, About. Then a subheading, Meet Our Company. This here represents an image that you want to show to the visitor. Below this image, you have the team heading, subheading, and then these circles can represent image of each team member. So we would have this layout: 1, 2, 3, 4 images. So one image, 4 images filled here, and then on the next row we have another set of 4 images. In total, we have 8 images. For each image, you would have the name and then the destination. Name of the person, then the position. Name, position. So this is the about wireframe. Now we have another section that we call footer. The footer we see here indicated that we will have a logo here, and then we'll have 3 menus: home, about, contact. Then there is another box over here. So this gives you a visual representation of how the about page would look like before you start writing your HTML code. Let's take a look at the last one, and then we'll see how to build the website wireframe, or the wireframe for our travel journal. The next page we will look at is the contact us page. Let's examine the wireframe for the contact us page. Now you notice here we have 2 columns, the left column and then the right column. On the left column we have a heading, contact. Then there is a form that you can fill to submit your message. The form has a name and then an input field. The next one will have an email, then the input field for the email. There is a subject, the input field for the subject, the message, then an input field for the message. And below it we have a button that you can click on to send your message. Now below this section we have another section that has 3 columns: column 1, column 2, column 3. For each column we want to indicate our offices, and so we have the office location, then information about how to find our office location, then the contact details, office location, contact details. Below this section we have the 3rd section, find us here, which could be a map that points to where our offices are located at. And so using a wireframe we can get a visual representation of the web page we would want to develop before we write any HTML for the web page. Now let's look at how we would design the wireframe for our travel journal web page. So this is how Tom records his travel: the date traveled, the place visited, description of the place, and then images representing the place visited. When he moves on to the next day, he records the day or the date, the place visited, description of the activity for the day, and then 2 images to represent the day. So let's convert this journal into a website wireframe. This is how our wireframe for Tom's journal will look like. We have the date, the place visited, description of the day, and then 2 images representing the day. Then on the next section we have the date, the place visited, description of the day, and then 2 images. And so if we are building just one page or the home page for Tom's Travel web page, we are going to have this layout throughout the page: date, place visited, description, images. Date, place visited, description, images. Now that we know, or we are able to determine the layout of our web page using Wireframe, let's look at the next step to take. For step 3, figure out the HTML element. So on this Wireframe, we have the date, place, details of the day, and then 2 images. So thinking in terms of HTML, for the date, we can use the time element. The place, we can use a heading element. The description, we will use a paragraph element. For the image, we will use an image element. And so we have 2 image elements, 1 paragraph element, 1 heading element, and then another heading. So thinking in terms of HTML, for Tom's web page to be developed, you will need a time element, heading, paragraph, and image element to construct the travel journal web page. Now that you know the HTML element to use, you will need to write your HTML code in the HTML document and save the file. Thank you very much for watching this video. Please subscribe to the channel for more videos. Thank you.